Welcome to the Bourbon Life Podcast, your source for all things bourbon. Join your hosts, Mark and Matt, as they drink and review bourbons, share news about upcoming events, interview the who's who in the bourbon world, and, most importantly, bring you along for the fun of living the bourbon life. Now, here's your hosts, Mark and Matt.
All right, everybody, welcome back for another episode of the Bourbon Life Podcast. We're back. I'm your host, Mark, and with me tonight here, live around the Flight to the Round Table, it's the Bourbon Life Crew. We've got Philip.
Hey.
And Matthew.
Yeah, we've got the whole crew
The
back
crew.
here. Yeah, everybody. Philip's here.
Yeah.
It's great to see him again. Haven't seen him in, like all year. It's
been
84 years.
It's been like 2 weeks floating. So
I think I missed one episode. Yeah.
It just seems like it's been forever. Philip.
We gotta
Stacy's
work
here
with
too.
our schedule.
I'm here too. Hey.
Yeah, and Chad, last but not least.
hey, best for last.
Yeah.
Hey, you know.
Then I'm here. Hey.
Hey, what's up, Mark?
Hey.
What's going on,
Hey,
you
Mark.
guys? Well, as you can tell, I mean, our viewers can't see, but
Just go ahead and flip it around.
our
It's
last-
the same,
Yeah.
our
same
last
view.
episode, we opened boxes and left all the bottles on
Oh,
the
that's
table.
right. Yeah,
and
we
then,
all opened all your boxes for you.
yeah, and then unfortunately,
And nothing has moved since.
for the last for the
No.
last month,
It's not the first time a man's been in Mark's box.
yeah, So nothing. There's been a few more additions though. We brought 5 or 6 more down tonight.
Yeah.
But we're going to taste through at least 3 of them. Well, Philip brought something we're going to taste, and then we've chosen 2 other bottles. So yeah, I just haven't had the chance to go through and try to organize and find a place to put these bottles. So
He's going to make us do that.
yes, congratulations. I still have look. Even some of the boxes from last month are still
Oh
there
God,
I have
we,
not.
we did the hard work for you.
I appreciate you guys doing that. I did open
And
the
he's
one
like,
box.
Guys, come over early. We're going to break down boxes.
Yeah, come on over.
Come help me do my laundry. This
That'd be
week.
great.
Since the last episode.
That'll be
hey,
a
the
lot of
dishes
fun.
need done.
Yeah, well, we appreciate our listeners. Thank you guys for hanging around with us.
Yeah, we need to apologize to all our listeners that said if they go one more week without a fresh episode,
I know we're done.
unsubscribing.
We're done, right?
Yeah, man. What
Guess
the heck's the
We-
deal?
We got you back
Well,
on the hook.
it's just been difficult, to schedule things and make things happen. With my schedule, Matt's schedule, it's just
The fans are going to
I know
they're
they
gonna
are. They're going to be
start
disappointed.
rioting.
Season 6 is not the season to start tanking, is it? So no, we're gonna do a lot.
I mean, Matt's parents are gonna get.
I know.
so mad.
Matt's
They
mom's
are.
like,
They'll be picketing in the streets.
she's like, Maddie, what's going on with that show?
That foul mouth show.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that no more? I like how we make them all sound like they're from East Kentucky.
Well, I was gonna say,
that's-
his mom
they
does not have
definitely
a.
aren't.
No,
In Michigan, she does not have an Eastern Kentucky twang in any way, shape, or form, Chad. So nice try.
You did the same thing. What the hell?
No, mine was much better. Mine was a Michigan deer.
Oh shit.
She's from Boston.
Boston.
So we do have a lot of things poured up. We got some things we're going to talk about, but let's talk about what we got poured up on this first. Who's doing this one? Is this
Me.
Chad?
That is me.
Tell everybody what we have
yeah,
poured
what
up.
is it, old Shaddington Bear?
Hey,
Chaddington Bay.
I don't have anything quick-witted to tell you right now. So Philip is showing the bottle. So April 2nd of 2025. We're not too far off from this press release.
No, it's the
Hey,
same
much
month,
better
Same
man.
year.
Same
Same year.
month. Yeah.
Same month even. Wow.
Man.
So I won't read your address, but dear Mark,
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
dear Marcus,
To whom it may
enclosed you would find a bottle of the 6th release of Kentucky Senator Bourbon, named for the Bluegrass State's 2nd U.S. Senator John Edwards from Bourbon County.
Yeah. Not John
Always-
Edwards from.
No,
Bad streak of bourbon.
not the mentalist guy. Always 107 proof. This 7.5-year Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey has a mash bill of 75 corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. Distilled, aged, and bottled in Kentucky. We hope you enjoy our smooth drinking bourbon, and we look
Nice.
forward to your reviews, tasting notes, and comments. Okay, so after that,
I love how
What the hell kind of accent was that?
It's like, I was like, wow, man.
this is the most detailed press release. I'm gonna give Kentucky Senator a thing. Like the one time I ever did a press release thing, I sent like a 1 or 2 paragraph email and just said, good luck.
They sent a script.
They did, man.
Yeah.
Like this is
Got stage directions and everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's almost blueprints in here.
Did it say to read it in accent?
It did
It
not.
did not.
Okay.
But this is Kentucky Bourbon 75-21-4. Around 2,000 bottles at 107 proof, named after Senator John Edwards. I will do a quick synopsis of John Edwards, second ever U.S. Senator, resident Bourbon County, exclusive bourbon release the brand's legacy of honoring distinguished statesmen while delivering an exceptional bourbon experience. Aged for 7.5 years, bottled at a signature 107 proof, John Edwards release carries Kentucky Senator Bourbon's reputation of excellence. Increase in production will lead to approximately 2,000 bottles, so I guess this is more than all the other ones, of this limited edition bourbon with a suggested retail price of $129.99. As always, bourbon is distilled and aged in Kentucky and bottled by Bluegrass Distillers and Midway. For those looking for even more exclusive selection, Liquor Barn, Justice House Bourbon will each feature their own single barrels.
Oh.
And
Yep.
that is that.
That's it. Yeah.
that.
Great job. Great synopsis.
It's my buddies Andre and Damon Thayer, Andre Regard. So they've started the brand. So they good guys, man. They had a release party down at the what's the hotel downtown at the new
21C. Oh, at the new
Manchester.
No.
yeah, the Manchester. Yeah,
I said no. Then I'm like, wait, Manchester Street.
They had a dinner down there and did a release with this a couple weeks ago.
The food at the Manchester is.
Oh yeah, well that chef's on Top Chef or something right now.
Oh, really?
I think it's Top Chef. I think she's was a competitor. I don't know if she.
Very cool.
I don't watch the show, but
Their food is great.
Great marketing.
She does great stuff. So yeah, so we had a release party, or they had a release party, and then they had the single barrel. I did not get the. Wait, did I do the pick? I did actually. The Liquor Barn pick.
You were in the photos for the picks.
I was there. Wasn't I?
Did I? Was I?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
You
Oh, I
peasants
think-
weren't
yeah, I
invited.
was.
But
I
yeah,
was.
I did that.
So-
Yeah, the
I-
Bourbon Life was invited, not the Bourbon Life. So
Yeah, whatever. So yes, so I participated in the Liquor Barn pick. My barrel was not chosen, of course. What else?
Shit palate.
such is the way.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Speaking of which, though, Stacy, speaking of shit palettes, what do you pick up on the nose on this one?
Well, I got a little bit of lemon pledge on the nose.
Lemon pledge.
And a little, not in a bad way.
Okay.
It's just like the oil.
The citrus oil.
Citrus oil. Also picking up some strong dark fruit vibes. Those were the two things that jumped
Gotcha.
across.
Matt, what about you, man?
Nice corn, good bourbon note on it. Kind of like cracked corn, like grain corn. Leads to a minty note on it as well. It's got a creamy, minty nougat or like a vanilla taffy note on the nose as well. I like Stacy's Lemon Pledge. There is like kind of a bright citrus oil, just like a really crisp kind of sharpness near the end of the nose as well. That really wakes things up.
Very nice. Philip, what about you, man?
I agree with them. I do also get just a hint of tobacco, but yeah, they pretty much nailed it right on. So,
Chad, any wonderful notes to add to? Of course,
So-
Chad's going to tell us.
What? Shut up. Stacy stole my Lemon Pledge note. That's usually what I say. Yes. But
Did you write it down? Did you write it down?
No, I didn't write it down.
She didn't steal anything then.
Shut
Man,
up.
Keep going.
You don't even go here. So to counteract that, it is a very citrus oil note. So lemon or orange, kind of like a citronella-y. It's got some good toasted oak notes. I do get, like she said, dark fruit. Get like a little blackberry. It's got a touch of the. It's not quite jammy. It's not quite tart. Somewhere in the middle. Like Philip said, a little bit of tobacco. Good corn notes, like a corn cereal, frosted, flaky, sugary, sweet on the nose. Yeah, it's kind of where it falls for me.
The only other thing I get kind of like this combo, almost like a hint of like almost like clove cinnamon or something to me that comes through.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because at first it was like cinnamon, then I'm like, no, I get almost like a clove, and then it's almost like a combination.
It just
of the
reminds me of like a fall candle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to. Yeah, I think that's a great descriptor. So yeah, I like that. So guys, news-wise, man, there's a lot of different things that are going on. I think probably the biggest thing that's happened recently is the Garrard County Distilling Co. has gone under, right?
It's wild.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about that? Anybody want to just share? Chad, I know you will. Go ahead.
I'll chime in because I was talking to the guys from All Nations in January at BourbonCon markets where I was, talking to people and showing face to multiple brands. I don't know if Mark was or not. I only seen Mark like twice, and both those times I was heavily under the influence.
No.
You, Chad?
Never. But everything seemed to have been going well just a few months ago. So it's wild, I mean, it's always better said than done kind of thing, but it's wild that they were starting to do festivals and promotions again. And they were at BourbonCon, and the guy who was, repping All Nations as like, the lead brand ambassador and co-blender and all this stuff for brand development. He was telling us about all these things that they had on the up and up. And, that was, second week of January was BourbonCon?
Yeah.
And here we are the second week of March, and they've officially been closed on by a bank for $26 million.
$26 million, right?
And
It was the
$26 million in debt right now.
And that's all we know. I mean, I don't know if that includes whiskey, but
I don't
that's
know
definitely the facility and all the equipment in the facility for sure. So it definitely makes sense on, we've seen over the last 2 years, I mean, it's just been a revolving door of staff there.
Yeah.
Like, has it been people coming in, seeing the writing on the walls? Has it been people coming in and, and it's just like, you're expecting golden streets and they're, bronze or I don't know what. But I mean, like, it's definitely been this weird thing. And I mean, I was fairly hyped for them because I came back from BourbonCon thinking like, man, All Nation's doing great. They're putting out some great stuff. They've got some amazing new products coming out.
Yeah.
And not a single one of them has even hit the shelf, and they are now ceased to exist.
When were they set to open?
I think the distillery was actually technically already open.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't.
They had been distilling for like 2 years before they announced their opening, right? Or like a year or
I
something?
can't remember how that worked out, but we had Ray Franklin on the show. Ray was
Yeah.
the CEO or whatever. I can't remember his official, but I think it was CEO. We had him on the show because it was like it flew under the radar because during COVID they built it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we got this huge facility that's going to produce thousands and thousands of barrels of whiskey every year. And everybody's like, whoa, how'd that happen? And it was about the same time that Lisa Wicker was named. And then I think she was gone within a matter of weeks or days.
If it wasn't
short-lived.
1 week, it was 2.
Yeah, so I was like, when that happened, I was like, what's up? It just didn't seem right. But we had a great conversation with Ray on the show, and they sound like they really wanted to go, big time. And obviously, I got to go out there late last year. I don't remember which month it was now, but did a tour, got to taste the All Nations. They were running 2 stills. I think it's 2 stills and like 16 fermenters. I think they have
That was
out there.
wild.
And they can run like 2 completely different lines at the same time. So I mean, they had a great setup. I mean, it is a great setup. But I noticed when I was out there, there was 1 fermenter that was running, and that was it out of I think 16. So I was like, because I think they were wanting to get into that contract distilling as well, and doing things for other people, and just so I don't know if it just never took off if they weren't able to get the demand generated from people. Good guys that I met out there, the All Nations guys. I got to sample All Nations. Some of their stuff they were putting down, the newer stuff that was their product that they were putting down. They brought that out. I got to sample some of it, and it tasted really good for being like, I think it was maybe a year and a half old at the most. But everything I tasted really good. So I think they had great product. But I hate to see it. Any distillery, obviously, right? You hate to see that. So
Now, did the lawsuit, did that come from the bank, or was that?
I think that was from the construction company.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, basically, it's just like a debtor's lawsuit. Like
Okay.
it's just bills not paid kind of thing, which is crazy because like they had some wildly aged whiskey from like sourced from all kinds of places, and they had the ability to do a crazy amount of contract distilling. But I mean, like,
yeah.
and it's not that like, a lot of people are talking about the contract scene's dead or this or that. It's not that. It's like there are people, like Denny and Jane are doing just fine. But it's like, it's not that it's dead. It's how much did these companies spend to get up and running, or how much of their company did they let go of before they were up and running?
Investments.
Like,
and
like
investors and stuff
if you were literally borrowing money to pay your bills before your bills were due, then there was an issue. And I think that's maybe what happened with, because I mean, like you said, Mark, they kind of started building this shit during the pandemic when no one knew what was happening. And all of a sudden, one day it's just like, "Hey, we're open.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a distillery. Come visit
Huge
us."
distillery. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's in a near a town where no one really goes to for visitor experience.
That's true.
And it's from it's named after the county that no one really is like, what? So it's kind of some bad marketing.
No, I mean, there were definitely issues with regard to accessibility because I went out there and it was a long drive out there. It was like, okay, I'm here, but then I pull up and there's a gate and it's like, it's locked and I'm waiting, and it's like, it was a odd experience to try to get in. But, we had Ray on the show, and then within months of him on the show, not that it was any correlation to him appearing on our show, but Ray was gone too, right?
I got to stop coming on this show.
So he would, yeah.
Yeah, I've made it this far.
Matt's hanging in there. Yeah. But we'll see.
But remember too,
Yeah.
they had it was in a dry county up until
Oh,
they
yeah.
like released
Oh,
the press
yeah.
release of it opening. So they really
Yeah.
couldn't
Have people on site.
talk about
Yeah.
it too much because there was never, from my understanding, there was like never a true set guarantee. Like how did it work that the county was going to switch over dry, and even then they had to like rezone the building so it was like technically within city limits because city limits went wet, and the rest of the Garrard
Yeah,
County is
that makes sense.
dry or something. So there was, like, if I remember correctly, yes, it was in a dry county. It's now wet, so they were able to open this whole huge distillery, a big press release, make it public as soon as the law passed, turning it wet. But there was a lot that they probably couldn't talk about beforehand. So I think they missed out on a lot of marketing time, a lot of
See, I feel
chance to
like-
reach out to people beforehand.
Yeah.
Because of that.
I feel like they still could. I mean, Jack Daniel's in a dry county. I mean, you can still advertise who you are and what you're doing. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. You can't say come here and have a cocktail, but you can say here we are. Here's what we're doing, and that I don't know. I mean, like I have a hard time trusting that when there's places in East Kentucky which have up and coming distilleries, which. Well, we'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
if
right.
those are going up or not.
No
but I mean,
kidding. If I'm associated with that large Eastern Kentucky contract distillery, I'm kind of quaking in my boots.
Yeah. So
I
mean,
hope everything goes well.
I do too, but I mean, there are dry counties and dry places in our state and in Tennessee who have distilleries, and
Yeah.
they do just fine. I think the problem with Garrard County is, like Matt said, they didn't announce anything, which I forgot about that. They didn't announce till the county went
Yeah.
wet to allow you to come there and visit. But if you didn't know beforehand that this was going to be an option, how the hell would you know that they're opening? Besides
Right,
being like, we're
right.
here
Yeah.
in the middle of the pandemic, we're here. Come have a cocktail. You can't, sorry, but come have a cocktail.
Yeah.
JK.
So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate that for them because, like I said, the guys, I didn't know them that well. Well, we knew Barry from that we'd had on the show as well. Really like him, and I hate that this has happened basically.
Do you think that anybody else is going to swoop in there? I mean,
That's
the
what we were
place
talking
is
about
like,
before we
Yeah.
started. I'm
Yeah,
like,
Mark-
$26 million.
We're talking about this off air. I think, I have no knowledge of anything happening. This is purely speculative, but like a huge company like Campari or Sazerac swooping in and just like making it their
Sazerac makes the most sense,
a
especially with their-
workhorse. Just
Yeah,
to have this,
especially
like,
with their like
that's
their-
where they distill Fireball and
yeah.
all
I mean,
their
they're doing
wheat vodka.
They have built warehouses in Tennessee and warehouse in Indiana because they want to they want to avoid paying those Kentucky barrel taxes. They're building a distillery in Tennessee. They got a distillery going on in Japan. They're working on getting one supposedly in Indiana. Like it wouldn't surprise me one bit because Sazarec's got Buffalo Trace, Barton, and then Glenmore. And Glenmore is like the behind the scenes, the rum distillery, bourbon distillery, like 99.999%. Like I'm sure this Kentucky Senator that we're tasting was distilled in Glenmore, and it is the factory distillery for Sazerac. For them to have another one, 16 fermenters, shit that's already built for way less than what they were gonna have to price it at.
make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a rounding error for Sazerac. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Mark Brown's team could just easily, which I know he doesn't run anymore, but they could easily just swoop in there and be like, "We'll give you 25
Yeah.
million and pay off 25 million of the debt, and then we'll do the rest on creditors."
Well, and they don't need, for that, they don't need the visitor experience. It wouldn't be a visitor experience.
Well, no,
place.
Glenmore's
no.
not-
It would just
yeah,
be
it would
like
just be a
the old
production
MGP when it was Seagram's. Like no visitors allowed, just like brick walls.
It'd be like-
turn it and burn it out.
Like what Barton's is now.
Yeah.
Like you can't go visit, right?
Yeah, you can't visit
go visit
Glenmore, you
Barton's.
can't visit Barton.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just
and
making
Buffalo Trace
whiskey.
wants nothing more of shit. Most Buffalo Trace brands are made at Barton now, so they would want nothing more than to be able to expand that capacity to another giant ass distillery with two like 68-foot column stills.
Crazy
And,
how big that place is, man.
Yeah,
So
it's wild.
And because Buffalo Trace can't build a new distillery in
where
Frankfurt.
where they are. Yeah.
They can't expand anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense because it'd be close enough. I mean, that's
Yep.
close enough for them. Good point, Matt. Good suggestion, man. Any, well, we're almost getting around one already, guys. Dang.
Flies.
Should we talk about the palate and the finish, Matt?
Yeah, let's talk about it, Mark.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh,
Chad finished his.
yeah.
Chad, talk about the palate and the finish because
So that was hilarious. The palate for me was kind of short. Palate and finish both fell short, a little flat. It has a lot of like dried fruit, dried berry, cherry, blackberry up front, little like tartness, like raspberry or strawberry. It gets these nice, like sugary, sweet, toasted oak notes. It surprised me that it's not a toasted bourbon because it really has like a lot of those toasted qualities to it. Super sweet. What kills it for me is on the back end of the palate, towards or the end of the finish. It goes like this super straw hay, like earthy, just like, which I want to say like a lot of yellow notes, but like it goes like that realm of just a ton of, like it goes honey, hay, straw, nothing crazy. So to go from like this toasted oak to berry to straw and hay, the finish kind of falls flat for me. I don't think it's bad, not by any means. I wish the finish was kind of reversed.
I got you. That makes sense. Yeah. I was kind of picking up that leather note too. You talking about, and maybe it's in my head, but I'm just like, there's that leather.
I get a little bit of that leather, a little bit of peanut on the very back end of the finish, but
I
definitely don't think it drinks at 7.5 years old.
Yeah.
On the finish, I would say it comes in a little younger than that.
Yeah.
I also don't think that it tastes like 107 proof.
Yeah. I can see that. I get like the cinnamon red hot thing too, like that sweet with cinnamon, like ooh.
Hot
I mean,
tamales.
I like that. So I like this just because I like those flavors, and that's what stands out the most to me. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But to me, that's what really, for my palate, that note just pops out and continues with that sweet, hot cinnamon type of
Big red
flavor.
gum.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, for me, that's the flavor that lingers more than anything else. Matt, now back to you.
Yeah, big and spicy in the mouth. I was a little bit surprised.
That's what she said.
Nice and peppery. It almost had like a Pop Rocks kind of texture.
There you go.
Or it's like really alive on the palate.
I like that.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty warm.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of the corn, creamy notes carry around. Rye spice coming through. I like the cinnamon red hot note we were all talking about. Where Chad said it kind of gets a little natural, earthy on the finish. There's that straw. There's that kind of that grain corn note. I think it's good. I think this is good. Quintessential Kentucky drinking bourbon right here. 107 proof. I think it drinks hotter. I would guess, 115, 112, 115. I think it's a good warm drink, but at the same time, I don't think it really leaves much to be desired. That's good bourbon.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, guys, we're in round one, so I said we just take a quick break, figure out what we're going to drink next. I'll take a potty break, and we'll be right back with more with the Bourbon Life Crew in just a minute.
Three Chord's line of whiskeys embody the spirit of creativity. The whiskey is a true collaboration between producer and composer Neil Giraldo and master blender distiller Ari Sussman. The Three Chord team of expert blenders, coopers, and sensory professionals have developed a multi-step process they call Perfectly Tuned Taste. This process begins by carefully selecting the finest bourbon and rye whiskeys from Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana, and then blending them together. Find out more about the whiskeys and distribution in your area at www.threechordbourbon.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back for round two of the Bourbon Life Podcast. I'm your host, Mark, and with me here tonight live in the Bourbon Life Studios, my good friend, Chad.
What's up?
Hey, Chad, thanks for participating. I appreciate that.
I'm texting my buddy John right now.
Oh, yeah.
John from the Embellish Podcast, everybody. John Hughes. You don't follow John.
We don't promote other shows on our show.
And you should.
Hello, John.
Jeez.
John's great.
Promote our own show on the show.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Listen to the
I'll
Bourbon
promote
Life
Matt.
Podcast.
Matt from the Bourbon Life Podcast. Matt, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm Chad from the Bourbon Life Podcast. I'm doing great.
You almost called me Mark.
No, I didn't. Chad, My Daily Bourbon on Instagram, right?
Matty Hughes 58.
Oh.
Giving it out.
I don't think that's what it is. But
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
I was like, is it 58?
It felt right.
He's like, I'm going to change that.
Matt's like
Stacy.
85.
Stacy, freckled and jarred.
That's me.
Yeah.
What
How
up?
are you?
I, couldn't be better.
And Philip, he's got a site. What is it called? No, I'm just kidding. Bourbon Hunting Kentucky.
Yeah.
Beer Hunting Kentucky. No,
Bourbon
follow,
Hunting.
follow that one.
KY.
KY. Yes. Bourbon Hunting KY.
KY.
I'm the most boring follow on Instagram, so
That's not true.
enjoy.
That's not true.
Phil's last post was like pre-pandemic, so.
Well, yeah. Well, that's all right, man. He's
It's
out
vintage.
there. He's just out there.
He's aging. He's aging up
That's
all
right.
of his
I've
posts
been
really
storing
well.
all these
Yeah.
photos, and I'm going to put a
right.
bunch out one day.
He's going to be like,
He's going to be like,
I'm
remember
back."
when?
It's going to be like a huge photo dump at one time, right?
I gotta say, Philip, on the first round, your tasting notes were good, but I was waiting for that Philip edge. that, you know,
I didn't have one.
It tastes like dog
got-
shit
got a
that's
little
been sitting in, basking in.
It's been like some creek water with some lemonade in
Yeah.
it, you know.
if I had one blue Bic lighter and 16 Jolly Rancher jelly beans,
That's what it reminds
four of
me
them
of.
green, and then you put them in a turkey.
I like how all of a sudden he's like Uncle Baby Billy from.
From Righteous Gemstones. Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers.
Oh man. Woo. Round 2, we're already derailed. Poor Philip. Everybody's
I'm so glad to have him.
Yeah, same.
It's always good to have Philip here. But
Why not?
Philip, go ahead, Chad.
No, I was gonna say the last cruise show was me and Stacy. Before that was me, and
That was a
but
terrible
I wasn't at the
episode.
show before that, so I've not seen
it's been
Philip
a while.
in some time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I don't remember.
It's been
I
a
really couldn't
while.
tell you.
Yeah, you're getting that age.
I'd have to go back and look at the notes.
Did you
to
take
tell
your Prevagen?
What's that? I forgot.
Just take your glycerin pill.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have my Depends on, so
Thank God.
my Depend
Depend.
Depends when you depend on it.
brought to you by the Bourbon Life. Anyway, Philip, you brought something
All
for us to
right,
drink.
so-
What'd you bring?
This is the Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. If you buy a bottle of it, if it doesn't have that signature, it's not genuine.
Oh.
So that's what it says on the label.
That's what it
I wonder how many bottles are out there without the James B. Beam signature on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Random people
it's
just be signing them and stuff.
80
Yeah.
proof, and
This is
Chad
not huge,
Watson.
yeah.
I don't know anything else about it.
That's okay.
It's not
what?
on the shelf.
How-
It's 80 proof.
Does it have
How much
a
was it?
It was $25.
25? Is it aged at least 4 years? Or is it having
It is
younger?
not age stated, so yes.
So yes.
Okay, so aged at least 4 years.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know anything about the
80 proof, yeah.
Beam,
Yeah.
right? 80 proof. Yeah.
Yeah,
Easy drink.
I'd never
80
seen
proof,
this
yeah.
label, so I was like,
That was
I'm gonna grab
Canadian as
that.
hell.
Yeah.
80 proof, yeah.
Yeah, 80 proof, yeah.
Yeah.
Not your friend guy.
Stacy, have you nosed this?
I haven't, you know.
shove off, you
Just been
hoser.
too busy over here
Matt,
cackling.
what about you?
I like this nose. It's approachable rye nose. A little bit of grain, rye grain, kind of like a grassy straw note on it. It's got almost like fresh cut grass nose and feel to it. Light, crisp, little green apple, a little bit of mint. Kind of rounding out, sort of like that green apple kind of turns like sweet apple juice note kind of on the back of it. Good rye nose.
Yeah. Stacy, have you nosed it yet?
Yes, I have. Very bright. He took my green apple note. It totally reminds me of a green apple Jolly Rancher.
Oh.
In a
yeah.
good way, though.
Yeah. Philip, what about you?
Smells like springtime in the hollers of Owen.
Did you bring that Bic lighter for this one, though?
Oh, man.
Got that holler nose to it.
Chad, what about you? Anything else?
I definitely agree with Matt. So it's funny because I was thinking it smelled like apple cider, like a fall apple cider. And whenever he said green apple, apple cider, or apple juice really hit. It's definitely got that fresh cut grass nose. It's the nose is just super juicy. Like it almost hits like a juicy fruit gum.
Yeah.
It is just so fruity and earthy and bright. I've not tasted it yet, but like the nose is awesome. I love the nose.
I get a little bit. It almost reminds me of smelling like a mint julep. You know, a little,
Yeah.
like a mint, a little hint of mint, very light,
But
like
sweet.
Matt said, but sweet. You know, you get that combination of sweet and light mint. It's almost like I just put my nose into a full glass of a mint julep. So,
Why would you
Smells
do that?
like Derby Day.
so like Derby Day. Why would I do that?
With less horse
Because my
shit.
nose is cold or hot, and I want to put it in ice and
Yeah.
just get down in there and I snort it.
That's fair.
You know?
Little like rabbit turd ice cubes. You know?
Oh, I love those.
They go great.
Those are so good.
Right up the nostril.
Man, they are so good. For sure. We'll come back to the palate and finish here shortly. What other news is it? Oh, speaking of well, we weren't even speaking of it. But hey, let's talk about the floods, you know? I mean,
Hey Philip, speaking of your life crisis, tell us about it.
well, I was like, speaking of, no, we're talking about Jim. Well, actually, Jim Beam. I think the Boston facility did actually have some flooding.
Boston.
At Baston, but I don't know that it was significant.
Boss.
Are you talking about the old Granddad facility in Frankfurt?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
You can talk about Frankfurt, but I think the Boston facility for Beam actually did have
Because they've
some-
got a bottling facility in Frankfurt too.
Oh,
but I
do
don't think.
But see, I was trying to make a segue, but then I was like, no, we're drinking
Yeah.
Jim Beam, and we're going to talk a little bit about Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, we're
Philip,
talking Boston. You mean you're trying to make a Fenway?
Get a pock dog.
How's your
Anyhow.
mother doing?
Wait,
Khakis.
All right.
So yeah, the flooding in Frankfurt was really bad.
Because you live there, so people
yes,
understand.
yes.
that.
God,
Yeah.
don't
So,
give his personal information away. Jeez.
But it makes it more personal if
So-
they know he lives in the city got flooded. Safety.
And I
So
own
shut
property
pothole.
right across the street from Buffalo Trace.
Yeah,
So,
so see, there you go.
so it was the flooding. It got about 1 block from the home I own down there.
Wow.
But
crazy.
And that was the highest the river's ever got, or the highest the river has gotten since 1978, I believe.
wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buffalo Trace was completely underwater.
I saw the
and
aerials. That was wild. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people saw those aerial photos.
Yeah. So like Buffalo Trace owns property across the street too, and all of that, their semis, everything was, I mean, at least like chest deep in water.
Wow.
It was, yeah, it
I
was
didn't-
really
oh,
bad.
wow.
Yeah. So I know they've been working 24-hour shifts, or they've had crews there 24/7 since the water receded, and they're still
Still working.
to this day 24 hours.
and you
a
said
day.
it was like, you think it's like 400 or 500 crews? Possibly.
Had to be, yeah, as many people, and I know they've brought back. They are starting production back somewhat. I don't know if it's just bottling or
Okay.
and they're the gift shop, I think, is finally back open.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I've seen
Yeah,
people
yeah.
posting a bunch of bottle pickups
Did you
Yeah.
see the
where
picture?
you can make like reservations online. Or
Yeah, they
whatever.
were doing
Yeah.
reservations. I think they're getting ready to open it back up though to where people could come in.
come in.
I know so the area where they set up all of the construction crew to come in and clean it up, they poured an actual brand new parking lot in 24 hours to bring in all the
They had
equipment.
like 500 people there
Yeah.
in 48 hours, pretty much redo everything from the bottling facility in that parking lot to get shit up and running. Because they, I was talking to a guy who works for the company that Sazerac was contracting in to help get stuff cleaned up and shifted over, and he was having to pay people like quadruple time to get in there and basically get shit like all censored up, everything ready to go for bottling, just because they're like, we can't miss.
Yeah.
They're-
They gotta
we
keep
can't
rolling,
stop.
right?
So
It's I can't imagine what the final tally is going to be on
Well,
what it
just
costs
the
them
cleanup,
to reopen. Yeah.
the cleanup itself, but then also what they've lost in
Yeah.
terms. Well, and you're talking about the barrels because some of the warehouses obviously had water. in
but
them,
I don't
so-
think they're going to lose whiskey. I mean, barrels are pretty much airtight. Unless they will go through and do a check on affected barrels.
How are they gonna? I mean, if I knew that my barrels had been submerged in river water, I think I'm gonna check them.
That's the thing is I think they're going to have to throw them out just because of the contaminated water that was.
I don't think they will. Because you're just assuming that water's. Shit's not always leaking out. So they're gonna run a contamination test. They're probably gonna run a test on every barrel if I had to guess. It'd be cheaper for them to run a contamination test and see if they're within
to dump
realm
out the
than to
barrels.
dump out all the barrels and then have to go through all that EPA stuff. Because if that's the case, then they're gonna have an EPA fine out the ass because of all that liquor that leached into the river water.
Yeah,
So they would probably rather just pay to have every barrel tested to make sure it's within a contamination range than not.
and some of those barrels we were talking about that before we started because the warehouse C,
Yeah.
the lower
Yeah, it
level
was- it
is
was
all
completely under,
It
yeah.
was under, right? And
It was like two stories,
Probably,
right?
yeah, probably. I'd say probably at least 2 stories high.
and that's
on
where like the
building.
Pappy, all those older aged barrels are on those first floors in the back corners.
Yeah, and then the
everything. So,
Blanton's warehouse, it was flooded.
yeah,
And that's where they do all their picks and all that. So yeah, it was bad. I know the gift shop, it had, I would say, probably 7 feet of water. I'm
say
just
Wow.
guessing.
The picture I seen someone post was like next to the stairs, like 7 or 8 feet.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Because they have those big portraits. Did I see a picture like the water level
Yeah.
was like up to those portraits, which is upstairs?
That
Right.
is wild.
And their whole property is like uphill. So
I mean, yeah. So it was pretty devastating. But I'm just waiting for that E.H. Taylor flood survivor.
oh yeah.
oh, that's
Bottle.
coming.
Oh, it's
You
gonna
know
happen.
You know it's
And
gonna be here,
You know
right?
what I hope happens first is that Glenn's Creek comes out first with the flood survivor bourbon, and that they trademark that first because I don't know how they're doing. I've not seen how they're doing, but they were underwater too.
That's what. That's
So
right.
out there next Castle and Key, I seen Jay Mattingly made it out just like barely just fine.
Yeah,
I was
it
just about to ask about
It was
that.
just right around
because
there.
they're across the street, right?
Yeah.
Right.
From
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace. So that new facility
So,
they built.
yeah, all the buildings behind them were at least waist deep in water, but it didn't get up in the parking lot to them. But it was
Wow.
close. Yeah, it got really close.
That's crazy.
But Castle and Key said they weren't affected. But also they're well, I mean, you got to think about like Glenn's Creek Distillery is like on the creek.
It's
there,
on
right?
the water,
So
yeah.
it's on the water. The nearest thing for Castle and Key would be that old warehouse, the old stone brick warehouse right there. But that's still a little bit of ways from the water. So
Doesn't Woodford have some right down there on Glens Creek?
I mean, Glens Creek runs right through their property, so I don't know.
Beam owns some warehouses down there, or they did.
They
I don't
did,
know if they sold them or.
But I didn't hear anything about Woodford having any issues with the flooding, because I guess they're I don't know how they're all set up.
hey,
I'm trying to think of how high that water could have gotten there. Because it wasn't part of the river. The
I
creek,
was gonna say,
yeah,
the creek probably didn't get
near as high. as
Woodford
high.
stuff's up pretty high. Like
Like
it's-
Rebecca at the stave
Well,
didn't have anything.
the stave. I was going to say the stave's there on Glens Creek,
And that
right
is
on.
right.
And they're okay?
I didn't see anything that said that they
Yeah,
had
I
any
want to actually
loss
say
or-
that she was.
Yeah.
She did say that they were.
So yeah,
okay.
that
That's
makes
good.
sense, because
Yeah.
the creek's going to be able to handle it. But then once it flows into the river,
Yeah.
it was obviously a big old mess, man. Well, I mean, I can't imagine that. Obviously it was devastating for the communities themselves, but then also for the distilleries affected. I think somebody was like doing almost like a fundraiser or something for Glens Creek Distillery. So I thought some people posted something. I thought I saw on social media trying to like help Glens Creek Distillery. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see anything come out of, and I feel terrible. I can't think of his name right now. The guy who runs Glens Creek, but I didn't see anything come out from them at it at all. So it was all secondhand that I had seen, and I was
Gonna
like,
say, I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah.
Didn't even
I'll double
honestly
check
think about
that
it.
in the break. I'm going to see because I thought somebody had posted something about like a fundraiser or something to help them. So I kind of took it obviously something had happened. I hadn't seen any news about it though. Just
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're all like that guy. I know he started it like by himself.
Yeah.
Like Glens Creek Service.
Yeah, it's
they're
all, like,
all
self-funded. Yeah.
personally funded.
I mean, shit, his stills are like like redone beer kegs and like copper tubing. So,
Oh, are they really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah,
he
he-
like full on like moonshine that like he went straight to the shed on.
yeah, I was
know.
down there once when we were looking at the old Crow distillery to do some stuff, and he let us come in and see everything. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was just him and a steel, and he had a couple of ricks that he had built, and he was putting barrels on it. So he did it all. Yeah.
Well, I know that that book that Paul Packelt wrote. Did you read that too? The one, the bourbon barrels in Buffalo or whatever you
did.
read. Do you remember? Wasn't there a story in there about flooding at Buffalo Trace and like Albert Blanton, either him or Elmer, like going back to the distillery and they were like going through the floodwaters, just trying to get stuff up and out. And there's like a whole story. And this was back on, I don't remember what year it was.
I was gonna say if Elmer was there, it was probably 78 when it got.
Could have been,
Yeah.
yeah, because they were talking about a pretty devastating flood and what they were trying to do to save it. But that story's in. I don't remember the whole story, but I remember Paul writing about that in that Buffalo Trace book. So I thought that was pretty cool. I may have to go back and reread that. So I mean, obviously a lot of history, man. But being right there on that river, I mean,
Yeah.
what can you do?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people forget all through the distillery and even the warehouses and the property. There's like red tape and like lines everywhere that show you like where the waters came up the last time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good talking point. I mean, like the old Bourbon Pompeii thing was underwater for a long time and all that stuff. So
Yeah, and they flooded like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just flooded. And
So yeah, what did anything actually fall off? Because
when
had
that,
some
when that,
land.
so yeah,
it was
so
like a
the first
landslide,
flood
right?
they had, it was a small. There was like I don't know if it was kind of like a temporary office, like kind of like a double wide type thing.
oh yeah, it's one of the construction trailers.
that like
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
like fell
Yeah,
off the
and it fell into the river.
right?
Because the river had washed the bank away.
Yeah, so I didn't know if this flood had done any other. I hadn't seen or
I
heard
haven't
anything
heard
about
any that it
the
did,
damage.
but I'm sure other
Had to have-
parts
had
in
to have
Frankfurt,
eroded.
it's definitely eroded away. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
I'm sure they probably had more.
That's tough. I mean, because they can't go anywhere, and if that starts eroding even more, it's going to erode into the actual facilities, the buildings.
Well, yeah, I mean, the
Underneath.
the city and county of Frankfurt are basically just like, fuck bourbon right now. We don't want you to expand. We don't want you to
I know
change.
everybody's all the people are angry. They don't want them to. We don't want the black mold, right,
That's
or whatever.
that's a whole the
whole-
city of Frankfurt.
So, but you said it got like 3 feet from the flood wall or the height of the flood wall.
Yes,
right?
it was.
Yeah, so it almost breached.
It almost breached. Yeah, if
That
it would
would've
have
been-
done that, then there would have been. I think they said 13,000 homes would have been.
Oh my
Well, I mean,
gosh.
shit. Someone.
all the state
Well, no, it
government
was
buildings.
you. You sent us to. Well, no, it wasn't you.
No, it wasn't
Well,
you.
someone sent. I can't remember if it was
Somebody
you or my buddy Sean, who has family in Frankfurt, sent a video of where Bourbon on the Banks was. Was that you?
That was
It was
me.
That was
yeah,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
And like, holy shit, like.
Because we were like, oh, it's bourbon in the banks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Bourbon-
like quite literally 14 feet below where the top of that water is where we stand.
Oh,
where
yeah.
Bourbon on the Banks is going on. that to me was insane because that creek is huge. Like that waterway it's wide and it's I've never seen it.
It's a river.
River, whatever. It's not quite a river, but it's a river.
It's a
It
river.
legit is the river.
It's the Kentucky River. It is called the Kentucky River.
It's a nice pond.
It is. Yeah.
Great lake to take the
ain't-
kids fishing.
The Ohio River is a river, let me tell you.
Oh,
You ever heard the Nile? Goddamn.
yeah.
The old Bananga Mahanga.
Mahogany
Yeah, what's that
lemon.
called?
Yeah.
The Monongahela? Oh yeah, I remember that one.
How's your mom doing?
Man.
But anyway, that was a wild video because just to share, I don't think enough people realize like whenever you walk into Bourbon Banks, just like how far down you're walking to below.
It's a lot of stairs.
It's a
I
ramp.
just take the wheelchair ramp, just go.
I just take the ramp. Yeah, I just do that.
It's worse on the way out.
Amateur.
Walk
Way in
Oh
is
God,
fine.
way outside.
The way out was
Unless you get your wife to pick you up at the other end.
Yeah.
where you just walk straight.
I don't
out.
have a wife to pick me up.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Matt and I got the luxury automobile ride. Right. We just.
I don't know. Actually,
We
I
get
got
dropped
the
off.
Matt luxury automobile ride this past time. So.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
did.
Very
I got the ride in the red van. I don't remember the next day, but
yeah,
you know.
you got
did
free
he lure,
candy.
Did he lure you in with candy?
I remember getting in the van.
Yeah.
Then I was at home.
Smells like chloroform in there.
Yeah, funny.
What I've been
Funny
told.
how that happens.
Makes
And
him really quiet for the car ride home.
And then he couldn't walk right the next day. But going back to the whiskey.
Wow.
Let's talk about the rye. What do you get on the palate and finish, Stacy?
I haven't.
Don't even. You've been sitting here tasting it. Philip,
No,
what do you get on
really
since you
haven't.
brought it? What do you get on the palate and the finish?
It's a very good rye, like a young rye. A lot of the grassy notes, a little bit of hay and straw. Not as much as the mint carries over on the palate.
Yeah.
But I think the rye with that little bit of heat, it's all right that it's 80 proof. Typically, I don't, I like it some 80 proofs, but
Right.
it's typically not. But that rye spice kind of kicks it up a notch.
Stacy, what about you?
The mint note still comes across to me, but it's like butter mint. It's like a desserty mint to me.
Grandma's purse man.
Yes, Mammal's purse mint. I get just a little hint of that, but I think it's really nice. It's got a light, crisp feel on the palate. Doesn't linger very long, but I mean, obviously it's 80 proof, but I think it's good, especially for what, $25?
Yeah, $25.
Yeah,
Yeah, hey, $25 don't link on your palate, Stacey. I bet you do like it.
Matt, what do you think?
that's right.
It's good. It's young, a little thin. I thought on the palate, but
Yeah.
80 proof, younger in age. We're only assuming, but still nice. I thought it was a little bit floral. Kind of had honeysuckle, kind of springtime notes on the palate. Honey and straw went through. That apple note was there on it as well before it kind of lent to some distillate, some grain. I don't think there's anything wrong with this at all.
Yeah.
It's a good introductory.
Yeah.
rye.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
I was gonna ask that you guys. What do you think? Is this a good intro rye? You think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Plus at 80 proof. I mean, it's yeah. Chad, what about you? What do you get?
I wish it was more around that like $13 to $15 price range. I feel like that's more. I'd be more comfortable buying this at, especially for cocktails. I think this would be a great old fashioned rye,
Yeah.
a great whiskey sour rye, Manhattan. Just any whiskey cocktail rye. Like Matt said, well, like everyone said, good bit of grain. I still get that like apple cidery note, which I do find is pleasant, but it does have like these earthy, leafy, green straw, hay, honeysuckle. I get a lot of tea notes on the palate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ton of like green tea, jasmine, rose petal, which is very wild because Beam Rye, like Knob Creek Rye, are usually some of my favorite. These low Kentucky ryes, but 80 proof, I guarantee it's probably like they were, waiting for the stopwatch to click 4 years, and they're like dump them. It just kind of seems that way. I don't think it's a bad product. I wish it was $10 cheaper, and I think it'd be one of those that's just like you have to have around for cocktails.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it too, man. And that, it's funny, Stacey, because you said mint and I wasn't getting it. And it wasn't that like the perception, because it took 2 or 3 more drinks. But then at one point, just on that finish, that hint of mint just came back through. The tea was standing out to me.
Tea's a huge one.
Yeah, definitely get the.
And I
the
would
tea
say I bought this at like a little drive-through liquor store.
note. Yeah.
If you I went to Kroger to see if they had it and they didn't. So if you find it at one of the bigger stores, it's probably
Probably
going
gonna be cheaper
It's probably
than
going to
a-
be cheaper.
yeah,
but
which makes sense.
It was the only store I saw that. So.
I like it. I mean,
Drive-through
it's-
liquor stores are still a thing.
Oh yeah, we got like 17 in Frankfurt.
Oh shit!
I love a good
You can't,
drive-thru.
you can't have any of the government people being seen in a liquor store buying stuff. They got to be in their their Lincolns or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's like when I worked for the Assemblies of God. You can't be in a liquor store, right? But you go through the drive-thru. Anyway, we'll take that back and forget I said that. Anyway, damn non-compete I signed 12 years ago. Anyway, yeah. So I like it. I mean, thanks for bringing that, Phil.
Yeah.
That's a good. I've never had that before, so I mean, I'm a fan, obviously, of Beam products. So, but that is a good one, I think, to have around for mixers, etc. But I could even drink this. I think, like putting in a cube of ice for me, just to sit around and sip on, especially in the summer, or making like a highball with it. Just
Absolutely,
a big cube of ice, some ice, and a little bit of soda water or something like that, and drop that in there. I think that'd be really tasty, really refreshing. So, all right, guys, we're at the end of round 2. Anything else before we wrap this round up?
Just wanted to say, glad that your homestead
Thank you.
made it.
Yeah,
through.
yeah, for sure,
That's
man.
Most
Yeah.
important
And thanks
thing.
for keeping us updated.
I got something else I'll tell you, but it'll be off.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Quick in this.
There we go. All right.
this.
Hey, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you now. That's the end of round 2. So everybody sit tight. We'll be right back with more with the Bourbon Life Crew in just a minute. Welcome to the kitchen table at James B. Beam Distilling Company, where every visit is a celebration of tradition and flavor. Did you know that the kitchen table is nestled right within the heart of the distillery? That's right. You can experience the essence of James B. Beam's legacy while savoring their delectable dishes. Join them every Wednesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a culinary journey like no other. Planning a special event? Let the kitchen table be your host, creating unforgettable memories for you and your guests. And don't miss their upcoming Claremont Supper Club event on May 14th, featuring the new release of Chapter 9 of Little Book. For more information and reservations, visit beamdistilling.com. The kitchen table at James B. Beam Distilling Company. Come as a friend, leave as family. All right, everybody, welcome back for round 3 of the Bourbon Life Podcast. I'm your host, Mark, and with me here tonight live in the Bourbon Life Studios, it's my good friends, Matt.
Hey, what's up, Mark? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Glad to be back. Good to see the table is a royal mess.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'll work on it before the next
Don't.
show. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. You guys can just
Just
randomly,
keep
We're just gonna
adding
keep
to it.
piling.
randomly
piling.
pick what you want to pick. Yeah,
Let's see how much weight this table can hold.
seriously, because that's where we're headed, I think, unfortunately, because I'm out of space. There's no more room in the floor in the back room because
It's almost like you have to build those shelves we've been talking about for 6 seasons.
Oh, that's
Oh,
you know what?
Jesus
They're
Christ,
right.
you know
Those
what?
boxes are right over there.
Hey, Matt, those
Like,
boxes of shelves, they've been in that same spot for like,
Yeah.
how long have I known you, Mark? 5-6 years?
They're barrel
Hey, they've
aging.
been there for five or 6 years.
I'm working on
They're
it.
basement
man.
aging.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Yeah, it's basement aging. I'm working on it.
I don't know if I trust the structural integrity of that wood anymore. It's been sitting over there so long.
Hey, listen, there's a pill for that. So I'm just-
Oh wow! Yeah.
So, Mark, how was the Gulf of America?
Look at the. Oh, it was the most glorious thing I've ever seen, Philip.
I needed an update.
Yeah, it was. It was strangely just like it was very familiar, but yet very different. This sense of freedom.
Jet
and-
skis and American flag.
Yes, sir. You know
like
it.
Kenny
yeah.
I was
Powers.
going to say, any fucking powers. Mullets everywhere,
Yeah.
baby.
Bald eagles screeching in the background.
But that was fun. I'd never been to Perdido Key, so that was cool. That was the first time I'd ever been down there. So Nita had gone. Her niece got married, and they had her bachelorette party at Orange Beach, which is right there beside it. So we just went down. We got a chance to get away for like 3 days, and actually drove down there, and man, it was really beautiful.
And you had the best cat sitter.
We did have a great cat sitter. You got 6 strokes. I mean, come on.
I did.
Hey,
Their cat. Okay, hold up.
Stacy takes what she can get. So,
Yeah,
or I mean, I guess she gives what she can give. So I don't know.
that's right.
Yes.
If you need me for cat sitting, don't call me.
Don't call it, because your cat will hate
6
it.
strokes to a feline.
Like my cat does.
Stacy's your person.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
But
cat
wait,
does.
we were introduced to people. Oh, okay. Philip's here.
Speaking of cats.
I'm here.
Speaking of cool cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stacy's here. What's up?
Yeah. Well, hey.
Hey,
Hi.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing? Chad, you're here too. What's up?
Why the fuck is it the most always
What's
depressing?
happening?
Yeah, like it's every time it's
And
like,
Chad.
Chad. You know, I'm been the
Wait,
most
can I
consistent
do it?
person.
Can I do it like an Eeyore voice? Eeyore voice?
And Chad.
Chad's here too,
Oh, buddy.
and I'm here, Mark. Yes, I'm your
Yeah.
host.
And Mark.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us over.
Thanks.
Glad someone is.
With more than a 24-hour notice.
Hey, you know what? I was actually surprised. I think Mark took the longest to respond last week when Matt said something.
Yeah.
But I'm actually surprised that, like a week ahead of time, we were able to put this together.
Got it together. See?
Great job, guys.
Mark only responded this morning, but hey, we all had a plan. So
Yeah, you guys were going to show up. I was actually in far extreme western Kentucky, and I thought my schedule was going to be that I was going to get home at 8 o'clock tonight, and I was like, shit, I'm going to have to text everybody and be like, hey guys, I hate to tell you this. And I was like, they're going to show up at my house anyway.
Yeah,
and like
we'll
they're going to
do the
record a
podcast
show
without
without
you.
me.
yeah, I mean, we
Don't need
know
Mark.
what he is. We don't
Nobody
need you.
needs me.
We just
man.
have Anita sit in.
Everything was all set up.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
just punched the buttons and
Caramel, vanilla.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
Kentucky.
difference? It would not be. It'd probably be
Easier.
better.
Gotta go to the bathroom.
Old granddad,
She's better looking.
lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much
Three-time
better
UK
looking than
grad.
me.
Shit,
Oh,
we didn't
yeah.
print out our bingo cards, guys.
I've got it saved on my computer. I will do
We
that.
will do that. We
Yeah,
will.
I do
we,
have that. So
We do. When is the official anniversary?
the first show was like February 7th.
Okay, so we missed.
February 8th of 2020.
Happy belated
Yeah, so
anniversary,
we-
Matt.
so
Did he
happy
get you an anniversary present?
It's still belated.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on it.
Just like Mark, soon to come. So
Wow.
And those shelves.
Anyhow. Well, thanks for joining us tonight for the Bourbon Life Podcast. We appreciate it. Anyway. All
How
right.
was that bathroom break, by the way?
Anyway, we got something great poured up tonight for round 3. Who's got Matt? Do you have the bottle in your
Matt's
notes?
got the verbiage there.
I have
Who's got-
the press release.
Oh, Stacy's got. Come on,
Stacy's got
Stacy.
The bottle.
Oh, I should hand it to Philip. He's done all the other ones.
Oh, you should.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Philip, the hand model.
There you go, Vanna.
Yeah.
the ceremonial handoff.
There
So
you go.
we have got here, Michter's announces the 2025 release of its US1 barrel strength rye. Master distiller Dan McKee and Michter's master of maturation Andrea Wilson have approved the release of this barrel strength rye immediately for your enjoyment. When we began selling our rye many years ago, American rye whiskey was virtually an afterthought for a lot of people. Our team takes pride in our ryes, and it's great to see how this category of wonderful whiskey has returned to the forefront, observed Michter's president, Joseph Magliocco.
Nice.
Yeah, I got that right, huh?
You did. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Magliocco.
Magliocco.
Yeah.
With a mash bill vat, while being majority rye grain, has a good deal of corn and malted barley as well. Michter's ryes and Kentucky style. We often have people at a tasting that say they are not rye drinkers, but when they taste Michter's, they are surprised by how much they enjoy it, says McKee. This Kentucky style rye at barrel strength is another fantastic way to enjoy the traditional characteristics of a rye whiskey while offering a nice balance of sweetness and spice. Michter's US1 barrel strength rye is a single barrel product. The average proof of the barrels for the 2025 release was 110.5. Suggested retail for a 750 is around $120.
Thank you, Matt, too, for sharing that
You are
with us.
so good at reading. You've been doing really great with your Hooked on Fire. The progress is phenomenal.
And
Tell me
say,
about it. I know.
Thank you, Michter's, for sending, because Michter's is so good. They always send us bottles. We get those 10-year-old bourbons and 10-year-old ryes and get the barrel strength. I mean,
Michter's is too good to us.
Michter's
Don't
is
tell
great.
them that.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
shut
Yeah.
up. I want to keep reaping these benefits.
Same.
Every
Yeah.
time Mark gets a Michter's 10 rye, I get a 100 ml or 200 ml sample.
Yeah,
of it.
same.
And I do
I've
not
been
want to change
savoring.
that.
I've been savoring mine from last year.
Yeah, so have I. So shut the fuck up, Matt.
Yeah. Dan McKee, I love Dan. He's such a great guy.
Dan is the guy that if you put him in the room and ask all the secrets, if there's no one there to tell him not to say it,
If Andrea's not
he will
proud-
say it.
No,
Yeah.
if Andrea's not there, Dan will be like,
He-
well, I'm probably not supposed to say this. But
And he is like, I don't want when I say he's a big guy, because he's like super broad.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. And you would think if you see him out in public, he's probably like a fucking wrestler or something. But no, he's like this sweet teddy bear dude.
he absolutely is.
But you talk to him, and if there's no one there to control him, like Andrea puts him in his place. I feel like she abuses that guy because he's like, like no daddy, no, kind of scared of her.
no wire hangers.
But he will tell you pretty much anything you want to know. So for all of you who want to know anything about Michter's,
Don't
just make
throw
sure.
him under the bus like that. He's
I was
going to
gonna
get
say,
beat
man,
again.
Dan's gonna be in trouble now.
I mean, he's probably due
yeah.
for one. So I mean, yeah, it does him good. Matt, speaking of, you said the average proof's what, 110.2? What is the proof on the bottle you received?
110.5. This one here is 110.2.
Okay, so the average.
Oh,
that's
damn.
why it's
I like-
average.
Yeah, I like how I just threw out a number and it was right.
Yeah.
But yes, I do love that these are always single barrels. So like most
Right.
people don't realize the barrel strength bourbon, barrel strength rye, Michter's 10 bourbon, Michter's 10 rye,
Always single barrel.
always single barrels.
Yeah.
But the regular rye, the US one,
Yeah, the
is
US
always a
always
single
single
barrel.
barrel as well.
Yeah,
Single
at
barrel.
what, 45.3 proof? Is that
Yeah,
right?
it's
Am I
like
making that?
90,
90.6?
90.6. Yeah, 90.6
Is
or 8 or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
always a single barrel.
And I love that they do that because you always get the barrel number on the neck label, and it's, which the first two numbers are the year that it comes out. So
Nerd.
that's the year of release.
Fuck you.
Nerd. But I'm a big fan of Michter's, and I like that they do that. And they take really good care and quality control into what they do. Like, there's been years they haven't released a 10-year. There's been years they've released, like bourbon or rye.
Yeah, that's right.
They haven't done toasted, or they've just like, hey, these products aren't up to snuff. Hey, a 20-year, our 20 years ain't drinking 20 years. So we're going to wait, and then they'll put them out. So you can pretty much guarantee that everything you get from Michter's, age stated or not, is way older than the average you would expect. But these, I mean, I've had most of them from Mark the last 5 years, but they've always hit pretty well. So
I'm waiting for him to send a 20-year-old. Wouldn't
Yeah,
it
I
be?
bet you are.
hey, I've got a 100 ml of one at home. I should have brought it.
Yeah, you should. Next time you break that. All right. So nose-wise, Stacy. You can't say because I
I'm just kidding.
called on you like 6 times. You're like, I'm not done yet.
It's because I've been focusing on what you guys are saying, asshole. Anyway,
Now you've
this.
been rocket fingers over there on the phone the entire time.
Yeah, I'm important.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has a great nose. It does come off a little grain forward at first to me, but I don't hate that. A little bit of grassiness to it, little hint of mint laying in there. Gives me like Dusty Barn vibes. I like it.
I like it. Philip, what about you, man? I guess I can get closer to the mic. Philip, what about you?
Philip.
I second what you said. You can the comparison. It's good that we had the two ryes back to back because you can really tell the difference in the age.
Yeah.
You get a lot of those oaky caramel notes where it's aged, but it smells just like a Michter's rye. Like the quality you can tell as soon as you know that it's there.
Chad, what about you, man?
So for me on the nose, it's very much like old fashioned-y. Little nice like cherry syrup, like orange bitteriness, good rice spice, cloves, cinnamon, nice brown sugar. Like Philip said, super quintessential Michter's rye profile, like almost bourbon-y-esque. The thing I love about the barrel proof is just it's got a little bit more of a punch to it, and I've already had a couple sips of it, so I'm gonna reserve the rest of it for
Please
that.
do.
But no.
Don't say anything.
But I will say that every year I just think it gets better and better, nose and palate. So
Yeah. Nose-wise,
Just
man.
like this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
until you're
Until you
6.
quit. Until you keep.
this podcast ages like fine wine and vinegar. So.
Yeah. No, the brown sugar was the first thing that hit me when I first nosed it. It was like, man, brown sugar, love it. Just love that dark toasted brownie sugar aroma. The spiciness sticks out as well.
Everything that even their non-toasted to me smells toasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
That was going to be my first taste.
Yeah, Matt,
my
I'll throw it to you
first
because I didn't really
nose.
have much else to add because
On this
obviously
one,
it's not important if I talk. Go
It
ahead.
smells toasted to me. Just
Glad that you're realizing that now.
yeah, it only took us 6 years.
Yeah.
But this has a toasted nose. I think it really. I know that they use really great barrels on these. I think that the regular single barrel US1 rye, when it's proofed down, is actually a little bit brighter, a little more floral, a little mintier. This, I think, at cast strength, is a little deeper, a little richer. It's got those toasted barrel notes, that brown sugar, like you were saying, Mark, that like really nice brulee, brown sugar, dark molasses. This batch to me almost smells a little briny. I don't know if anybody else gets kind of like a little briny, like almost like olive juice. Like
I hate that you said that.
briny.
I love it, though.
You
Briny
just ruined it
note on
for
it.
Chad.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Like I see that, but now I think that's
You
with
see it or
anything-
smell it?
Well, I smell that, but now I think that's like just how toasted smells. Now that you say olive brine
never
and like
thought about
toasted
that.
toasted rye and olive brine smell so similar.
I love brine. I love you. I love brine. I love
You
lamb.
like
I
eat your
love.
Snickers.
My
up
dad's
there,
Brian.
too, so you can feel the veins on your tongue.
Oh God. What the, oh my. Have you been just waiting to say that, dude?
Yes.
What the hell? Like,
Mark, you look like you like to eat a banana with a spoon.
where did this come from? I don't understand. We're talking about.
We'll show you later.
Oh man.
There may or may not be an Instagram group chat where we find the dumbest shit possible. And we're like, we're going to splice that into the podcast.
Oh no.
You're welcome.
Great.
You're
Yeah,
welcome, guys.
I appreciate it.
my
But this is very, very bourbon-esque, right? Like to me, I get that like a rich. You're talking about that Jim Beam Rye, and Matt talked about the richness, like the depth to this. There's like the Jim Beam Rye is like in 2D almost, and like this is like 3D, right? It's like there's so much more
Without the
around.
glasses.
Yeah, without the glasses. So the note is excellent. So, what do you guys? Speaking
Just
of
like
fancy,
Mark, this podcast is better without the glass.
oh yeah, funny. I got a voice for radio. So, wait, I got a face for radio.
Yeah,
man.
there you go. God, you fucked that up.
It's been a long day.
Sheesh.
Anyway, so that would be considered an allocated bottle. We were talking about allocated bottles.
We sure were.
We were. Who wants to jump in and share their thoughts on allocated bottles?
Chad has no thoughts.
I'm sure Chad has something to
I think
say.
it's all bullshit.
Oh,
I like how Mark's like, Chad always has something to say as if I don't come up with goddamn topics every episode.
Thanks. We
That's
appreciate
why I
you,
do have
Chad.
shit to say, Mark.
Chad's got an Excel spreadsheet of topics. Thank you, Chad.
Love it.
No, I do. So like Matt brought up that, like Heaven Hill's been doing a slew of releases, and they dropped like the 19-year wheat whiskey. There's been a new William Heaven Hill. We got a new Parker's, the 14-year malt in a cognac barrel. Buffalo Trace has been dropping a shit ton of stuff pre-flood. That everything will be known as PF or PF pre-flood or post-flood at BT now. But
So PF or PF?
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say everything's just gonna be PF.
PF. So this Taylor Barrel PF or it's PF. But I mean, shit, they've been dropping everything from Thomas H. Handy to CYPB to Daniel Weller to various stag junior batches or stag batches. Sorry. To Blanton's Gold, straight from like all kinds of stuff. Jim Beam dropping pretty much like every allocated product this year, doing like multiple batches of Bookers and Little Books and all kinds of stuff.
Didn't they just announce a 20-year underproof, or is it
the 21-year Knob Creek?
Knob Creek.
So like that just hit. So like
Yeah.
I
I
feel
thought I
like
just saw a press release for birthday bourbon.
yes. So I mean
like
there's
just
just
out,
been
like,
like
we're
this
getting-
endless supply of like once again we're finally back to, I say finally, but for the last couple of years it's kind of been like it's September, allocation season, it all comes out at once. Now brands
I would
are
agree with that. Yeah.
brands are finally announcing. Well, TTB filing doesn't necessarily mean it's coming out soon, just means it's been approved by the government. But we're finally seeing more stuff just hit, and it's kind of exciting because like I've not bottled of bourbon in 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 or 5 months. So I mean, Philip
Yeah.
got that bottle of rye.
That's the first bottle of bourbon I've bought probably in 2 months.
He floated in on the raft, but he made sure to get one. No brown bag though.
I know they gave me a little plastic sack. I'm like, what am I going to do with this?
I know. Don't you guys know who I am?
The little thank you bag.
I'm Brown Bag Phillip. Damn it.
So for the allocated bottle people, I do have a pretty good source that the Blanton's Derby bottles will be released next week.
What's the Blanton's Derby?
Is that the white wax?
No,
Or
no,
the
that-
porcelain?
It's,
White
so
wax
it's,
is
it's just the
375s,
little
right?
the little 375s, and they do
Yeah.
like the special
They-
Derby
Yeah.
sticker.
Oh,
They
okay.
put,
All
they
right.
put us the Derby selected by sticker on there,
Yeah.
and
Last year it was like a whole 3-day event.
Okay.
Well, and if you remember, like, was it 2020 or 2021? They did the buffalo with the mask on.
Yeah, and then the next year it was the buffalo with a Band-Aid where he got vaccinated.
Oh, I
Oh,
forgot
wow.
about
Okay.
The
that.
buffalo. Here's what I hate about this. So they retail those 375s for like $80.
No, they're like $38.
I thought they were like.
No, at the distillery they're like $38.
That's the secondary market you're looking at.
Well, no. That's like people were telling me that they were almost like $90 after tax.
No. Now the
Shit, I was about to hate on BT for that.
Now
I love that. That's fine.
The single
ready to
oak,
shit on
the
them.
single oak project bottles. Now, if you go get one of them, it's like $78 before tax.
Yeah, those ain't worth it.
But
No. Blanton's worth it every day.
the Blanton's Derby bottles, they're always the 375s, and they're like
You
30.
and your
It's like
Blantons.
$38.
A 750, 75, Mark. I mean, come on, 38
All
bucks.
right. No, I'm not going to argue with you, man.
That's math. That's just math.
Yeah.
Now, how they're going to do it, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because, like Stacey said earlier,
demand's
they
gonna
were
be-
taking reservations
I was
to
gonna
get in there.
say,
So
yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be back open fully or not. But
I'm sure they'll work something out.
I just hope I can snag one of those 21-year-old bottles of Knob Creek.
Yeah, same.
geez, I don't know where you would get it.
Yeah. If only.
You've
I was
only
just
got
saying.
a fucking cot in the still house.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Mark's
Yeah,
got a lot of
I'll
soda in
say-
his diet.
so
It's nice to see It's nice to see allocated releases coming from producing distilleries.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it
I agree.
seems like every other day or so, companies are putting out 14, 15, 21 year sourced product. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's certainly not a disingenuous move, but it's nice to see the big distilleries putting out a lot of their allocated, their older stuff. Nice to just see the craft go back through the same distillery, and also usually priced a little bit better, right? Because you don't have to pay for how many times that barrel's changed hands through different brokers, different markets.
that's true.
So I think it's
yeah.
I think it's nice to see that recently, that some of the big distilleries are releasing their own product, their own allocated releases again to the public.
Wild Turkey, just they're doing the
Oh, yeah.
101. It's actually
The 108
age stated
year.
now.
8 year?
Yeah.
They brought that back, and Wild Turkey's gonna have a ton of stuff. coming.
Wasn't there some genius on our show like last year that was talking about the growth and the reemergence of age-stated bourbons being released?
Yeah, I think it was me.
Was it you?
I have
No,
no
it was me.
It was Chad. That's what I'm thinking. That we had that conversation.
It was me. I'm never wrong. But
He's got his finger on.
sweet baby
Anyway,
Jesus.
let's talk about this whiskey.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So this Michter's single barrel rye, right? Barrel strength single barrel rye. So let's talk about Chad. What do you get? Palate and finish.
do someone else.
Can you hand me that actually?
Philip, you've had 3 glasses
Yeah.
now. What'd you get in the palate and finish?
Philip's like a pint in at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I get the olive brine.
Do you really?
No, actually, when he said that, I
Okay.
just took a sip, and it actually does have a little bit of that flavor. Shit, I don't know. It's fucking good. That's
I love it.
That's the best way to describe it.
yes.
Good. It's
I would always buy a bottle if it's on the shelf. If I got the opportunity, I would definitely buy it.
Yeah. Matt, what are you gonna say,
I
man?
think so. We've been fortunate enough to have a few of these releases in the past. I think this one, just kind of jogging through my memory real quick, drinks kind of the darkest and the richest of
Yeah.
some of the barrel strength ryes I've had in the past few years. Some of them are a little brighter. Some of those mint and green apple notes come across. There's like a little bit of subtle taffy on some of them, some lighter notes. This one to me feels like all like barrel and dark notes forward. There's like a lot of cherry, a lot of
Yeah.
rich oak comes through, those spicy tobacco and leather notes. The rye, of course, comes through like big, bright grain, but it just like drinks really bold. It really kind of takes a hold of your palate on this one. Spicy, 110 proof. I think it drinks right on with that.
Oh, it's- yeah,
but like really oily, really thick on the palate. Like
Very viscous.
Yeah, it doesn't really let go of you.
Yeah. What?
It doesn't really let go of you.
Oh, I thought you said I don't love you. I'm like, oh, sorry, Matt.
Damn.
I was like, man, I was just saying viscous. Anyway, Stacy, what do you get?
Ooh. I just put a little bit of water in it. Fabulous.
She just created Michter's single barrel rye.
This is delicious. Very much what, piggybacking off of what Matt said, this is dark. It's bold. It's beautiful. The bold and the beautiful.
Like sands through the hourglass.
It's really good.
So
This is definitely like a dessert rye. It doesn't have a lot of those like bright, grassy, like
Yeah.
notes to it. It's not like smacking you in the face with like citrus or green apple or anything like that. Like this is just, I don't know. This is a solid one. And I will agree with Matt. I think that this is one of the better releases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chocolatey.
Not that I've ever hated one.
Can I
but
just say, when the first sip I took was like Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the world?
really good.
And I'm like, this is crazy because no.
Tootsie Roll.
I went back,
Tootsie Roll.
and I was like, yep, still getting that kind of chocolatey Tootsie Roll. Dark sugar, everything about it. The spiciness is still there as well. But yeah, I would agree, Matt. Just those kind of darker, richer, fuller notes that I don't know that you really anticipate on a rye all the time, right?
Yeah,
It's really good.
I think it drinks a little more bourbon-like.
More bourbon.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Right. There's
Yeah.
definitely the rye grain makes itself known, and I know that we said that it kind of had those toasted notes on the nose profile. I think the palate on this one is just big and bold, barrel strength.
Yeah.
Like the toasted has a lighter palate to it. This is, I mean, just look at it in the bottle and the
Oh,
glass
sure.
itself.
Yeah.
It's like freaking.
And we don't have it. There's no age statement on this, is there? Was
No.
there?
No.
This drink's like
Sample
to me
only,
like
not
12 to
for
15 years old. I mean, this
I was gonna say
drink-
it's close to flavor wise as the Garrison brother or not Garrison Brothers. Is it
Nelson Brothers.
Nelson Brothers.
Don't you
15-year
dare.
rye.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say.
God, that
I mean,
was so
honestly,
good.
this is in that category of those very
What's the price on this?
120.
120 for 750.
Yeah, that's a good price.
It's obviously it's good.
I would buy that
Back
every
for
day,
his
right?
second-
Chad, did you give
second pour.
a palate to finish? You have not. You're pouring another
not.
glass. That
So, well,
bottle.
I'm not going
the
to show.
bottle's
I'm not going to
coming
show
off.
the bottle, but
It's
that
empty now. Yeah,
versus this with the
Yeah.
price range.
sure.
Yeah, if I'm going like I granted to Phil's point, nothing against Kentucky Senator, but there's age shaded. You get the mash bill, you get all the info there from 130 to 7.5 years old. That doesn't quite do it for me. That's what this rye does, and I feel like rye is more of my thing than bourbon these days. The profile on this is very much a blend of. I get a lot of like Knob Creek bourbon, Knob Creek rye with a lot of like these Old Forester Woodfordy notes. It's like this mix of Jim Beam and Brown Foreman. Like Matt said, it's still very toasty on the palate. It's very big and a blind. I think it drinks way hotter than 110 proof. I would guess like 120, 125. It does, but it doesn't have a lot of rye spice, but it has a lot of oak. It's a very big whiskey. Tobacco, leather. You're still getting those minty notes. It's fruity. It's a little bit of floral. It's a really good balance of everything, which they're all single barrel. So this is barrel number 25B0431. They don't all taste the same, but I think this is an exceptional bottling, an exceptional product, and this is one of those where if I could get this exact barrel 20 times over, I'd buy it every time.
Yeah, I would too.
Do you know, because they release everything in single barrels, do they do a lot of picks or anything, or do they do any picks?
They've done 2 picks ever,
gonna say, I don't
and they've
think
both been like $100,000 charity barrels.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was just curious, like with everything being a single barrel.
Nope.
Yeah. Not that I was gonna say I didn't even know they'd done 2 charities, so
2 Michters 10. They both went for 6 figures.
I'm sure
If you guys were blinded, would you
By the
think
light.
that was a bourbon.
would you think that this was a high rye bourbon?
Oh yeah, that I meant to say that.
100%.
I would totally think it was a
100%.
high rye,
Yes.
high rye toasted or double oak bourbon or something
Yep,
along that line.
for sure. Yep, in a heartbeat. Awesome, guys. So, hey, we're at the end of round 3.
We are.
Yeah. Should we?
Thank God.
Well,
Get me a straw.
yeah, no
shit is
doubt.
good.
The bottle's going to be gone, right?
Paperboy,
So,
yes.
any final thoughts before we get out of here, Philip? Welcome back.
Yeah, it was great to be back. I had a good time. Next time, give us a little more heads up.
Hey, we got
I'll
a
be here
week this
no,
time.
Oh no, this time was great
Yeah.
because Matt set this one.
That's
Yeah,
right.
thanks,
did it.
Matt.
Well, I
Mark
put it
was
out
sitting
there.
in the Gulf of America tanning his ass.
You know what's funny is Matt and I were in the same room, and Matt's like, "I'm gonna do it." Matt's like, "I'm gonna send the message.
You should.
I'm
man.
doing it right
I'm
now."
glad that you took the reins.
yeah,
Good for
see,
you.
I
only
texted
took
you all,
6
and I was
years.
like, we need to doge the scheduler, and Matt took care of it. Matt, Elon Musk over here fucking handled it. So.
I appreciate
Oh,
it.
Matt Musk.
Matt Musk.
True episode, no exceptions.
There you go. I like that.
Oh, Elon Hughes.
Yeah, for sure. Matt, wait. I'll come back to Matt. Stacey, any final
you
thoughts?
Just really glad to have everybody back together. It was a
It was a hoot.
Good to see all you assholes.
Thank you, Stacey. That was very
That's the
heartfelt.
nicest you're gonna
Yeah,
get
that's
from me.
about as sincere as it comes.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love it.
I forgot to bring up my one gripe. All you young fuckers that come or at Kroger Field, disrespecting Winona like that.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
ridiculous.
I didn't.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there trying to enjoy Winona. She's not young, so it's like
Yeah.
take it in, and it's just like everybody's just walking up and down and just doing their
Nobody's
thing,
listening to
and
her,
talking.
huh?
They didn't give two shits until she played like one of the hits, and then they're like, "Oh, I know who that is."
I know that song. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Winona Judd.
Are you shitting me? Right
Sure,
You don't know who.
God,
you don't know who
Yeah,
the
oh,
Judds
yeah.
are.
Yeah, but I don't give two shits about their music.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'd be walking them down. That's popcorn music for me.
Oh man.
Chad's
Get
a hater.
the hell out.
There's gonna be.
He's got some dark demons from the
I'm
mountains.
telling you what,
that
we're
Hey,
he's
gonna-
speaking of comebacks, Mark, how you doing?
We're gonna set up a cage. Wow. We're setting up a cage next time. It's just gonna be a cage, and that's gonna be on
Fucking cage match.
everybody
Hey, bust
the-
out your wrestling moves.
to
Kim
the death.
Kardashian got come over back.
I didn't, there was no wrestling shirt tonight, Philip.
No, I do have my. Hold on.
Oh.
My Coney Island.
Nice. Yeah.
That's
how we roll.
100
Yeah.
years happy together.
Man.
Nathan's hot.
That's a
dog
pretty
shirt.
cool sweatshirt, though.
Thank you.
Nice swag.
How many of those wieners can you fit in your mouth?
I would
Not as many as you, Mark. Not as many as you. You don't have to
Chad.
brag about it.
Oh my God, Chad. Final thoughts. We got to wrap this up. It's going downhill quick.
I've had a great time tonight. I'm glad Matt and I put this together in the
Great job,
silence.
guys.
So,
Yep.
After 6
I'm,
years,
I'm
finally.
really leaning on Matt on this because he's like, like I said, he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to send a message. So
Why would that be a problem? Like I'm going to be a dick and be like, no, you guys can't schedule it.
Because guess what, bitch? If you say no, we're still doing it.
yeah, we will still show up
We'll
here.
just call your wife and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You
that was
listen.
kind of the plan. Is
Oh, yeah.
you know, if nothing happened, we would still be here whether you were or not.
Yeah.
We
but
can
no.
just push buttons. It's fine.
I'm going to lock up the equipment. That's it. Locking it down.
That's okay. We'll just record it on our phones and
Yeah,
send it
and
to
then
you.
we'll just release it anyway, and it'll
Yeah.
sound
Yeah.
even worse.
We'll-
and you'll
we'll
hate
figure
it
out-
so much because it doesn't sound up to your quality.
quality
Which
standard.
you would
Yeah.
have to be here to solve. So
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Here, right. But anyway, no, great time. Glad we finally got the full crew together for the first time in 4 months, 5 months.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've not seen.
Yeah,
Philip
because
since-
there was
Where have I been?
like what Thanksgiving and Christmas. There was,
I don't remember.
and then people missing, and yeah, it's
I've not seen Philip in this year.
Wow.
has it been that long?
It's depressing.
Yeah, I've not seen you since 2024.
I'm
bro.
glad we were able to reunite everybody.
Yeah.
Matt, final thoughts before we get out of here, man.
Good to get the band back together.
Yes. Woo.
Freebird.
For sure.
Stairway to Freebird.
All right. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for being here.
You're so welcome.
Appreciate it. Yeah. No, thanks, Matt, for you guys.
The pleasure's all yours, Mark.
The pleasure's all mine. It is. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Someone's got to be happy.
Wow.
Well.
Anyhow, you guys need to lay off that rye for just a few minutes. Let's close out the show.
I'm getting ready to crack
Bet.
open Mark's
How's your
favorite.
bowl of soup over there looking?
It's half
It's already gone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
delicious.
refill once this show's over.
Bet
So
you are.
So thank you, our listeners, for tuning in and listening to us for a live show. Finally,
Yeah, thanks
right?
for sticking with us this
Yes.
far. We appreciate that.
Exactly
Our
right.
fastest show ever.
We appreciate it. We
You
did
know
this
what? We
pretty quick.
have been efficient as hell tonight.
Yeah, man, we're like on point. So thank you all for joining us and listening. We appreciate it. Like Matt always says, whatever time of day it is. You didn't even say that. Morning, noon, or night. Thank you, Matt.
Whenever you get your Bourbon Life fix, thank you for all those tuning in.
That's
This time. We appreciate you, all of our sponsors. We couldn't have done it without you this evening.
Yes.
Thank you, Philip, Matt, Stacy, and Marcus.
Thanks.
Mark will close it out this evening.
I will with our tagline, which is, may your glasses always be full and may you keep on living the Bourbon Life.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of the Bourbon Life Podcast. Our mission at the Bourbon Life is simple: to share our passion for all things bourbon with you every week. And we'd really love to hear your thoughts on how we're doing. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at The Bourbon Life. You can also contact us by email at thebourbonlife@gmail.com. And you can always find us on your favorite podcast platform. If you have a moment, we'd love it if you would rate us and give us a review. So until next week, we hope your glass is always full and that you keep on living the Bourbon Life.